of the day, and this is what we want to engage you on this morning.
Okay, so the question is, do you believe that the interviews for the National Director of Public Prosecution's position should be held in public or behind closed doors? At the moment, as it stands, it'll be behind closed doors. I think the President is actually facing some legal action to try and make it more public so that we can actually get to see these interviews. And also, you know, with the major question mark over this position and the previous posts and people that have been in it, I think it's in the nation's interest to have transparency on this one.
Yeah, it's a position that has been heavily politicized over the years, and that has come with its attendant problems. But, you know, what are the pros and cons of actually having this process in the public glare? And if you remember Chief Justice Mogoeng, remember that process? I vividly remember sitting and watching that, and the grilling that those candidates underwent, and it's hectic.
It is hectic. It's a massive eye-opener. So, I mean, yeah, well, that's what we're asking you this morning. So we'll stop giving you opinions and rather wait to hear for your opinions on this issue. And you can write to us at Morning Live, SABC, #Morning Live. That's how you get hold of us.
Public protector position as well.
Oh, that was
we got to watch that.
We got to watch it. I'm surprised that this wasn't almost like a done deal that it would be in public. So
maybe there's good reason, and maybe some of our viewers will tell us some of those good reasons as to why it shouldn't be done in public. But what's your view on that?
All right, let's look at the big ones now that are set to dominate news headlines today. The SABC's consultation process on possible staff retrenchments is set to begin at the CCMA today. A lot of retrenchments in the pipeline, close in fact to 2,200 retrenchments.
It's a very tough reality that we are faced with this year. But yeah, that's going to be one of the big ones today.
Okay, other stories to look out for?
Former Public Enterprise Minister Barbara Hogan, she will continue her testimony at the Commission into allegations of state capture.
The Interministerial Task Team is set to brief the Standing Committee on Public Accounts, or SCOPA, on defaulting municipalities that are owing Eskom, and you just read in the news, the big possibility of load shedding coming again.
Absolutely. And of course, you know, this story has also been going on for quite some time. So it seems as though some of those deadlines are creeping closer again. The threat of municipalities being cut off. And it's been a hectic one, because in some of these municipalities, it is the municipality that supplies electricity to the end user, which is the consumer. So they buy from Eskom and sell on to the consumer. And people buy from the municipality, but somehow the money doesn't find its way to Eskom. And it's a terrible situation for you who's paid.
Yeah, of course. And then you sit in the dark, you're paying, but you got no lights, and that's the big problem. All right, we'll move on to the trending topics now, because this is what we need to look at. And of course, Stan Lee. Now, #Stan Lee. If you didn't know who Stan Lee was, today, believe me, that's all you're going to be hearing about. And Sakina this morning was like, she wasn't too sure what was going on there, but we soon educated her. Let me just name a couple of them. The Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, X-Men, Silver Surfer, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Black Panther, Thor, Deadpool, you name it, this was the man that created all. Oh, come on, man. What is wrong with you? He's amazing.
I'm sure he was.
Well,
the Avengers.
He was.
I believe the Avengers.
What about Hulk, the Incredible Hulk?
I don't care.
Spider-Man.
I don't care.
Did you not watch Spider-Man as a kid?
No. People were talking about some purple character. Sariti was trying to school me here this morning. And I was telling him the only purple character I know is Barney.
I don't know what to do with you. And Hulk, you didn't know Hulk.
Oh, well, I know
Black
Hulk.
Panther. Come, I'm bringing it now. Black Panther. Anyway, he is no longer. Unfortunately, Stan Lee passing away. Well, 95 years old, a pretty good innings, and he used to make all these beautiful cameo appearances in his movies. And the condolences that have poured out, because I don't think there are many well-known actors that haven't sort of portrayed a character of his or worked with him. But anyway, that's Stan Lee, Marvel behind Marvel. There you go. That's the way I'd put it. State inquiry. Okay, go for it. State capture. Now, there you go. Look, now her tail's wagging. Let's go.
So Barbara Hogan yesterday after, you know, that postponement of this commission, she was there to deliver her testimony before the State Capture Inquiry, the Zondo Commission sitting in Parktown.
Yeah.
And of course, it was very interesting because like those who have come before her, these are not really things we didn't know, but it is the granular detail,
yes, and to hear
that
as
actually
a matter of fact
is captivating.
Yeah.
Exactly. And just relating exactly how some of these processes unfolded, how President Zuma was adamant to have Siyabonga Gama and nobody else head up Transnet. And then you remember more contemporarily, Siyabonga Gama, of course, being sacked as the CEO of Transnet. And it all just weaves together so beautifully. It makes you understand in better detail why things are the way they are in certain ways. So she's continuing her testimony, but I think one of the things that it brought very pointedly to the fore for me was the whole question of ethical leadership.
Oh, yes.
And we'll be speaking to Professor Somadoda Fikeni, and I'll touch on that with him.
Excellent. Okay, because that was the main story of the day. She was there the entire day yesterday, and I'm sure she'll be there the better part of today as well. And just to see those raw emotions coming out of her, I must say that did get to me a lot, watching her and her relaying stories and talking about her credentials and saying, you know, I was honestly made to feel that, you know, I into a person that I wasn't, and that was quite unbelievable to see. But anyway, we'll hear more about that. Then US van der Westhuizen was trending, and the reason was really because of a court case and all about the estate and the finalizing of his estate. So the Gauteng High Court yesterday ruled that the will that Joost had drawn up in 2015, failed to sign it himself, was the last and true testament. Amor was of the opinion that despite his motor neuron disease, Amor of course being his former wife, Joost was still able to sign a document, or at least to mark it. So to cut a long story short, I think everything went to the trust that is now in the hands of his children, and Amor got a television set, and that was what was signed in his will. So yeah, so that was the news as to why Joost van der Westhuizen was trending yesterday.
She got something.
Oh, wow, yeah. Hope it was a good TV set, at least. Okay, it's 18 minutes past 6. We'll leave it there.
It certainly is.